Hi everybody and welcome back to school. This video we will talk through how to access and update and post your learning plan for your team or for your course, which is something we're doing this year to help keep students on the same page and parents as well. And that goes for whether we are in a hybrid model, whether we are in school full-time, or whether we are at home full-time. Just basically, in the spring we all were kind of surprised to be at home, and students didn't always know where to look for what they needed to be successful. So this is an attempt to address that. And it's not really an additional responsibility, it's kind of taking the place of homework hot links, assuming you were doing homework hot links in the past. It probably provides a little bit more information than homework hot links did, but I think hopefully you'll agree it's something that students can find beneficial and parents can find beneficial as well. So let's start with the end user experience, meaning what the student would see. So say I'm a student who would normally be looking at homework hot links. And here's what it looked like a few years ago from the Explorers team. And the information's all there and I can find my homework. It's not necessarily the most beautiful design, but it's there. This year, as a student, I'm going to get all that same information, probably a lot more information and access to a lot more materials in one single place. And so here's what that looks like this year. This year's document is divided into Pod A and Pod B for obvious reasons. And so the example we're taking a look at here is in Pod A on a Monday. So that would be students who were in school, which it says in the top there. The concept is basically your objective for the day. And then as a student, I have access to a list of everything that happened in each class, as well as in some cases links to the actual materials. So for my English classes, the students received this worksheet on a Monday. They could actually print that out. They could come to school the next day with that completed, having not skipped a beat, basically. And you could link anything on here. You could link to an external website. You could link to a PowerPoint. You could link to a video of yourself teaching. So it provides a lot of opportunities in a fairly small space that's easy to navigate for students. I can always also hit the home button and head to a different day of the week, or maybe, I'm in Pod B, I was in the wrong place. So Pod B isn't updated yet, but you can navigate all around as a student, and it should be pretty easy for students and parents to understand and access what they need to. From a teacher perspective, I actually find it in many ways easier to work with than homework hot links. I don't like the login process for homework hot links. I don't like the way it posts my information. I find it clunky and not that helpful. And so once you get the hang of this, it's a Google platform, so it's designed to be fairly intuitive and fairly user-friendly, and you're able to get the information in quickly and link students to the materials that you're able to provide to them. At most, you will only need to log into homework hot links once a week once you have this set up. And if you happen to be on one of our teams, you can try to convince someone else on your team to be the one person that logs in one time per week to post this document, and then all you have to do, you don't ever have to log into homework hot links, you just have to open this document and input your information there. So today we're going to walk quickly through how to access your learning plan, how to give it a name, how to publish it so that students can view it, and some tips for updating it so that students have access to everything they might need. For this section of the video, it might be helpful to open a new browser window so that you can watch the on-screen examples while completing some of the tasks. Alright, let's start with finding your folder. If you are a team teacher, this has already been shared with you. So all you'll do is go to Google Drive and search the words Learning Plans folder. And you should see a folder with your team's name on it. Because this is a folder you will access often, I would highly recommend that you right-click on it and select Add Shortcut to Drive. This will put it within your folder organization in Drive, so you won't need to look into the Shared With Me subfolder, but it should actually just show up there on the left under your folders. So team teachers, go ahead and open up that folder, select, let's just start with the first one, it's numbered 0, and it gives the first 2 days of school as the dates. If you guys are going to post those first 2 days, or you might want to wait until the first full week. But let's start with that first file that's labeled number 0. Team teachers, hang tight. Off team teachers, you have a slightly different process. All you need to do is enter the following URL into a web browser. www.tinyurl.com/hwhotlinks, as in homework hot links. Enter that address now, and with this page that pops up, I would actually recommend bookmarking this page, and that will allow you to always come back and get a new copy for a new week of this document. So this page asks you if you want to create your own copy, and you do. So click on Make a Copy. Okay, we all now have a document open in front of us, and here's what you do next. Anytime you start a new document for the week, you have 3 things that you need to remember, just 3. Number 1, you need to change the document title. You need to get rid of the words copy of. If there's not already a date in the title, you need to put the date range in, so August 27 to 28. Then everyone needs to add in either the team name or the course name. Now again, if you're a team teacher, only one person on your team needs to do this. Second, you need to add basically that same information to the main landing page of this document. So there are two places to add information. They're both highlighted in what are actual Hampton colors. And so you're entering in the team name or the course name here, and then the date range here. Third, and this part is very important and perhaps a little bit new, you need to publish this to the web. Now, this might be a little bit different from the share button that you're used to with Google Drive. And the reason for that is we want parents who are not part of the Hampton network or not logged into a Hampton account, we want those parents to be able to access this information. And it's information that they can access from their home computer, from a smartphone, from pretty much anywhere there's an internet connection. So a lot went into that and making that work, but all you really need to know is that you need to publish this document for people to be able to see it. So we're going to click on File. We're going to select Publish to Web. Click on Publish, and then click OK when it gives you a warning message. And then behold, this is the link that you need to share. Whenever you're ready to post that to Homework Hot Links, this is the link you need, not the share button in the upper right-hand corner. So we'll come back here later to grab that link, but for now, we're going to talk about adding content. A few things to know before we get started. First, there is a lot built into this document. There's a lot going on. There are hidden text boxes. There are master slides that you can't edit without working at it a little bit. And all of that is designed to make it easier for students to navigate so that they don't accidentally click to the wrong page, basically, and to make it harder for accidental errors, for someone else on your team deleting your information or anything like that. Still possible, don't get me wrong, but it's set up to try to be user-friendly in that respect. So the big thing to know is just try to leave that stuff alone and just enter information where you need to enter it. If you do move some things around accidentally, the undo button is your friend, or Control-Z. First, do no harm if you can. The second thing to know is that this is published on the internet, meaning anyone can access it. Just this document and all the pages in this document. So you can still post student essays in a separate space. You can link to them here, and those are still private to our Hampton network, but you shouldn't post any confidential information on this document. Don't put students' first and last names and so on. It's going to be accessible on the internet the same exact way that Homework Hot Links is. Okay, so I'm going to go into this document as an Explorer Team teacher. I'm going to use the navigation panel on the left side here to get where I want to go. Once it's published, it's easy to use this first page as buttons to get where you need to go, and then click on the home button to get back home. But when it's in editor mode, it's kind of clunky to do that. So I would recommend using the left panel here. Let's head down to Tuesday for Pod B. For location, Pod B is going to be at home on Tuesdays, so my location that I list will be Google Classroom. If it's a Wednesday and maybe you have a Zoom meeting scheduled, you could post a link to that meeting here. Now, when I click into this box, I actually only need to click one time and then begin typing. Even though you won't see a cursor the first time you do that, if you just click on the box, you can start typing, it will work. As far as concepts go, this is basically like the skills focus or the lesson objective, if you want to think of it that way. And so today I'm going to teach students about how to write a compound sentence using a semicolon. Now, classwork is going to look different for different teachers. So for some teachers, this might just be a simple list of what happened during class. What activities did we complete? I love having this list, and I love students having access to this list because, quite honestly, when someone asks me, what did I miss yesterday? I literally do not know the answer because my brain does not work that way. So it's great to have that as a resource for, I can tell you exactly what we did. We just did these 5 things. I listed them right here, and you should have been able to get that information. So maybe next time you will. For some teachers, it's also going to include hyperlinks to documents, to notes, to videos, to anything you covered in class. And personally, I am definitely someone who likes to hyperlink virtually everything that I do in class. And this helps me because, again, it shifts some of that burden for student absences away from me and back onto the student. And so when someone comes to me with that question, I say, hey, I'll help you get logged into Homework Hot Links. And you can just see what we did. And then if you have questions, I'd be happy to answer those. And so it's teaching students to, take some responsibility for their own learning, which is nice. If your class notes and your worksheets and your really clear instructions are already online, then depending on the day and depending on the kid, some students can get caught up from a day of being absent without even having to check in with you. I have had it happen, and it is magical. If you would like to hyperlink your class materials, here's how you do that. You can first identify the material using words written on your learning plan. Let's say I'm planning to start this class with my mentor sentence document, and so I'll write that as the first item in this box. Then, open that document up in a separate window. Click on Share in the upper right-hand corner so that we can adjust the sharing settings. Currently, it's restricted only to you, but we're going to click change link to Hampton Township School District. This makes it viewable to anyone with a Hampton email address, but it is still private to the world at large. This step is crucial. If you do not share it with the Hampton community, literally no student will be able to access it, and you'll get an awful lot of email. Now, they won't be able to edit this document, but they will be able to view or print or make copies for themselves. It is crucial that students are logged into their own Hampton email when they do this. You are definitely going to get some requests for access from private Gmail accounts, and I tend to just ignore those, and I try to teach students over and over again, you need to log out of your parents' Gmail account or your Google account or whatever it is. You need to be logged into the Hampton account. And once you are able to do these things and view these things and print these things. Once you have set the sharing settings up this way, you are clicking copy link. And we're going to head back to your learning plan. You should highlight the name of the document that you are linking, click the link button up here, paste your hyperlink, and click apply. Now always be careful here that you're actually posting the correct link. And you can go ahead and check that if you want by clicking and then clicking one more time and make sure it follows to where you want the students to be. Now, if you'd like to share a document that isn't native to Google Drive, that just adds one step. So first you would upload the item. It might be a Word document or a PowerPoint or a PDF, which is probably the easiest way to go. And then click share. Now, this can cause some formatting errors, particularly with like PowerPoint or Word documents with a lot of tables or heavy formatting. So I would recommend if you are uploading a non-native Google document, open it up, make sure it looks roughly right, but it is another good way to get that information out to students. A few more thoughts in this area. I can easily hyperlink other websites the same way. I'll often direct students to vocabulary.com, for example. This might even be a document that students have open in your classroom while you are having class. If you have 5 resources that you need everyone to access, that's an awfully quick way to get to those 5 resources. And it's probably a little bit easier to look at than Google Classroom. And in fact, if I am using Google Classroom that day, I can actually post a link to Google Classroom right here. So after we do these 3 activities, we're going to head over to Google Classroom where you are opening up your essay that you're going to write. And these links will always open up a new window. So if you want students to be able to keep this working list and then we're opening up a new window for Google Classroom, that works well also. All right, down in the assignments category, I'm going to list anything that students completed today for a grade, any homework that is assigned for tonight, and I might even include like long-term project dates or test dates that are on the horizon. And this is basically a place not only for like the day-to-day, like what do I need to accomplish for the grade today, but also for students who might have been absent for a week or two or who might have forgotten to be good students for years. And so this could be a good way to look through the most important or the biggest grades or whatever it is, and for students to, if it's hyperlinked, to be able to access that information on their own. That might be a little bit of a lofty goal, but I can dream. So one final thought here. The main goal of this document is to provide information that's easy for students and parents to access and understand. Once we train everyone to take that initiative, it really works pretty smoothly. The use of bullet points is intentional, and the limitation on the text boxes is intentional. You can't give students a 600-page essay on how to get caught up. They need to get that information as readily as they can. If you are finding that you have overfilled the box, you should think about ways that you might be able to do that more concisely. If there's information that you have to get to students, think about linking that separately in another document. We want it to be something that's easy to look at and digest and almost like a checklist of tasks to complete. So it's designed to be relatively concise for that reason. Okay, so you've updated your learning plan for this day. The last thing we need to do is just post that information to Homework Hot Links. And again, this only needs to happen one time a week for each document that you are working with. So for the team document once a week or for the course document once a week. Here's how we do that. First, head back to Publish to Web, which we did earlier. It's under File, and we're going to copy that link. Then log into Homework Hot Links the way you used to. I have to apologize here because I don't know how Homework Hot Links works for everyone in the building or whether you even all have access. I'm going to walk you through this the way I understand it as someone who posts the Explorer Team Homework Hot Links every week. And I hope that helps you successfully post your homework. So if you don't have an account or don't know how to post a Homework Hot Links, we're going to have to reach out to the tech department because I basically know just enough to be dangerous with Homework Hot Links. So disregard if needed. So what we're going to do is click on Modules and Calendar and New Event. Name the event with your course name or your team name if you're the person who is responsible for this. And again, only one person from each team should do this. We don't want 5 posts of the same exact thing. Then you'll pick a start date on whatever Monday it is that this week is beginning. Under Repeat, you're going to select every weekday and then enter Friday as the end date. Otherwise, it will be posted for the rest of time. We're going to select every core class here on the Explorer team and then head down to Description and write something like, click here for this week's learning plan. Then be sure to insert your hyperlink. Otherwise, all of this was for nothing. I'm going to highlight that whole sentence and click the hyperlink button. I'll paste my hyperlink and then publish the post. Now, if you post that document on a Monday morning, it's likely that the entire week is not yet complete, right? And that's fine. I typically update my document every day after I've taught the class at least once. That way I know if we're actually going to get to all the things that I said we'd get to, or maybe we'll get farther, I don't know. All right, so that's basically it. I'm hopeful that this is a new tool that helps you communicate better with students and with families, and perhaps even saves you a little bit of time posting to homework hot links. If you have any questions at all on this, or you need any help with it, please send me an email, or you can come stand at my door and yell at me from at least 12 feet away, and I will try my best to help you out. Good luck with your school year this year, and again, please reach out if you have any problems with the new document.